You've budgeted for the hotel, the flights, and the park tickets. Then you sit down for lunch at Disney World and somehow spend $80 feeding a family of 4 at a quick service restaurant. It happens to almost everyone, and every time it does, the same question comes up. Should I have just bought the Disney dining plan? The answer is not a simple yes or no. It depends on exactly who is in your group, what you like to eat, and how long you're staying. So here is the full breakdown of the 2026 Disney Dining Plan. What it costs, what it actually covers, where it saves you money, and where it quietly costs you more than you'd spend without it. Number 1. What the 2026 Dining Plan actually includes. Disney brought back the dining plan in 2024, and it's available for 2026 on most Walt Disney World resort packages. Right now, there are 2 main options. The quick service dining plan costs $57.01 per adult per night and $23.83 per child per night for kids ages 3 to 9. Each day on this plan, you get 2 quick service meal credits and 1 snack credit per person. The standard dining plan costs $94.28 per adult per night and $35.63 per child per night. That gets you 1 table service meal credit, 1 quick service meal credit, and 1 snack credit per person per day. Meals must be used at participating locations only, and not every restaurant qualifies. Alcohol is not included in any credits regardless of which plan you buy. Each meal credit at quick service covers 1 entree, 1 non-alcoholic drink, and 1 dessert. At table service, it covers 1 appetizer or dessert, 1 entree, and 1 non-alcoholic drink. That's your starting point. The question is what you actually get for that money. Number 2. The math on the quick service plan. The quick service plan costs $57.01 per adult per day and includes 2 quick service meal credits. For that to break even, your 2 meals need to average out to at least $28.50 each. Here's what that looks like in the real world. A typical quick service meal at Disney in 2026 runs around $14 to $18 for an entree, $5 to $6 for a drink, and $5 to $7 for a dessert. That totals roughly $24 to $31 per meal credit used. If you consistently use both credits on those kinds of meals, you're at $48 to $62 in food per person per day. Against the $57 plan price, this is roughly break-even or a modest save. Where the quick service plan genuinely wins is when you're ordering at higher-priced quick service locations. Satuli Canteen in Pandora, Ronto Roasters, or Roundup Rodeo Barbecue on busy festival days can push individual credits past $30 or $35 in value. Use the credits smartly at those spots, and the plan does save money. Where it loses is on lighter eaters who skip dessert, share entrees, or drink only water. If your actual daily quick service spend would be $45 without the plan, you are paying $12 more per person per day to have it. Number 3. The math on the standard plan. The standard dining plan at $94.28 per adult per day is where the math gets more interesting and more specific. That plan gives you 1 table service credit, 1 quick service credit, and 1 snack credit. For it to pay off, your table service meal alone needs to be worth at least $55 to $65 in food, with the quick service and snack making up the remaining value. At Disney's sit-down restaurants, that is genuinely achievable. Dinner at Be Our Guest runs $65 to $80 per adult with an entree, appetizer, and dessert. A meal at Yak and Yeti runs $55 to $70. The 50s Primetime Cafe at Hollywood Studios is $50 to $65 per person for a full meal. At those price points, the table service credit is paying for itself, and the quick service credit and snack credit are essentially free. The plan struggles for families who mix 1 table service meal with lighter eating the rest of the day. If your table service dinner is $55 of real food value, but your quick service lunch was just a counter burger and a water, you may not hit the $94 threshold. Run your actual meal preferences through the math before you book. The standard plan is the most clearly worth it for families who are already planning a sit-down dinner every night of the trip. Number 4, the snack credit strategy. Most people miss. Here is the thing about snack credits that most people figure out too late. The snack credit is worth exactly as much as the most expensive snack item at the location where you use it. A Dole Whip at Aloha Isle runs $6.50 to $7. A Mickey Premium ice cream bar is $6 to $7. But the Pong Pong Pineapple Lumpia Spring rolls in Pandora runs $7.25 to $7.75 and count as a snack credit. The school bread at Kringla Bakery in Norway is $5.99. A bag of Werther's caramel popcorn in Germany counts. The strategy is simple. Stop thinking of the snack credit as a daily treat and start using it at the highest value snack item at each location. On a 7-night trip, that single daily snack credit is worth $45 to $55 cumulative if you use it well. That's real money recovered that most families leave on the table by defaulting to the cheapest item on the snack menu. Number 5. Where the dining plan quietly loses. There are specific situations where the dining plan doesn't just fail to save money, it actively costs you more than eating without it. First and most importantly, alcohol is never included. Not a beer at a quick service restaurant, not a glass of wine at a table service dinner, not a specialty cocktail at Ogre's Cantina. If your group drinks with meals, those costs come entirely out of pocket on top of the plan price. Second, not every Disney restaurant participates. Victoria and Albert's does not accept dining plan credits. Cinderella's Royal Table does, but requires 2 table service credits per person for most meals. Third, the plan requires you to use your credits within the plan's night count. Unused credits expire. Families who get sick one day, decide to eat off property once, or just have lighter appetites on a hot afternoon, are effectively donating money back to Disney. The plan punishes flexibility. If your group is the kind that might skip a planned dinner for room service or pizza outside the gate, the dining plan is working against you. Number 6. Who the dining plan is actually worth it for the Disney dining plan makes the most sense in a few specific scenarios. The first is families with young kids who are doing character dining. Character meals at Tusker House, 1900 Park Fare, or Chef Mickey's Run $55 to $65 per adult and $35 to $45 per child. On the standard dining plan, those are table service credits, and the plan pays for itself on the character meal alone. The second scenario is long trips, 7 nights or more, where the family eats every meal inside the parks. The more days the plan runs, the more the math averages out in your favor. Third, the plan works well for large families because the per-person cost of a family of 6 buying a plan often beats the per-person cost of negotiating 6 individual checks at every table service meal. Fourth, and this is underrated, the plan works well for guests who find it stressful to watch what food costs throughout the day. For some families, the value isn't just financial, it's the fact that nobody is calculating a tip and watching the bill at every meal. That peace of mind has real value for certain types of travelers. Number 7. Who should skip it? There are equally specific profiles for whom the dining plan is not the right call. Short trips of 3 nights or fewer rarely have time to make the plan pay off. There's simply not enough meal volume over 2 or 3 park days to recover the upfront cost. Couples without children typically spend less on food than the plan assumes. If your natural daily food spend is $50 to $60 per person, you're paying $57 or $94 to replace it with a plan that forces you to use credits in a specific structure. Guests who drink alcohol with meals should do the math carefully and usually find the plan doesn't pencil. Adults who are light eaters, share entrees, or commonly skip dessert will find they're paying for credits they don't fully use. Families who eat outside Disney parks even 1 or 2 evenings during their trip should subtract those nights from the plan's value. And anyone doing a park hopper strategy who spends significant dining time at Disney Springs restaurants should check specific eligibility, as Springs Dining has its own plan coverage rules. Number 8. How to maximize the plan if you buy it. If you've decided the dining plan is right for your trip, here is how to make sure you get every dollar of value out of it. First, book your table service advanced dining reservations at 60 days before your arrival date. That window opens at 6 a.m. Eastern. The plan only helps you if you actually have reservations at good restaurants. Miss the 60-day window for popular spots like Be Our Guest or Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, and your table service credits may end up at walk-up restaurants with lower food value. Second, use table service credits on your most expensive planned meals, not your cheapest ones. Third, stack snack credits intentionally. Know in advance which snack locations deliver the most food value per credit and build those into your park day routing. Fourth, check mobile order eligibility before assuming a location takes plan credits. And fifth, if you end a trip with unused credits, they can be used at most merchandise locations that sell qualifying food items. But the real tip is simply not to let credits expire by over-planning the number of credits you'll realistically use. The 2026 Disney Dining Plan is not a scam, but it's also not a guaranteed deal. It's a tool that works well for specific trips and specific types of families, and costs you money if your trip doesn't match the profile it's designed for. Long trip, multiple table service meals, young kids who eat full meals, no off-property dinners, that's when it saves real money. Short trip, couples who drink, light eaters, or anyone with a flexible itinerary. Pay out of pocket and spend what you actually spend. The math is not that complicated once you know the numbers. Run them for your actual trip before you book. If this helped you figure it out, drop a comment with your group size and trip length.